Buddha himself, in his early years of teaching, he was extremely ascetic. And I remember, I think, monks, he forbade monks from using something in the bathroom or something, I don't know, scrubbing the body or something like that, something quite minor, the Buddha did not allow. But we see in the Suttas, when the Buddha grew old, he became more relaxed. Towards the end, somebody offered him, when he was about to pass away, the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, offered him some cloth with gold sewn on it. He also accepted. Not that he wanted to use it, he definitely didn't want to use it, but out of compassion for the person who offered, he gave that person a chance to do merit. So sometimes some of these things, the precepts are actually made for younger monks who find it difficult to restrain themselves. If you didn't have these precepts for them, they would not be able to restrain themselves. But for people who are matured, then actually the precepts are not a problem. The other thing is, sometimes you find with the Buddha, sometimes like he made certain rules, and yet some of the rules he did not keep himself. For example, he didn't allow, I think after this incident, the Buddha did not allow monks to show off their psychic power. But sometimes he would also show off his psychic power to impress some people who sort of like didn't have any respect for him. Like sometimes after debating with some external ascetic, then he fly off into the air and back to the monastery.
But another thing is wondering, because we live in a community, so not like monks who live in seclusion on their very own, they don't have to interact with people, not much contact. Whereas in a monastery, there sometimes you say let go. You see somebody does wrong, when to let go and when not to let go. For example, we see somebody sitting or throwing their snot into the kitchen sink. It's easy to say, okay, don't say this wrong way, but for the sake of the whole community, if everybody is doing that, then it will be everybody will fall sick with it. But where do you draw the line, where to say not true?
Sometimes if you feel that something needs to be said, we can say it, but try to put it in a nice way, and not to offend people. For example, like say it with a smile or in a joking way or something, people don't get offended, or like just point out the notice. So that's one way. And then sometimes also you see that person is very sensitive, then can forget about it. Don't say it, especially at that time. Maybe some other time. The Buddha says, right speech, you should also know the time to say it. So we have to sometimes use our wisdom. Usually if we say things in a nice way, usually people can accept.
From the Sutta, we know that it's important to guard our six senses well, and we all restrain all the six senses quality. I find that the most difficult power to restrain is actually the mind, especially during the meditation. When you close your eyes find is during the meditation that the mind is very running wild.
Yeah.
How to guard the strain of the mind?
The answer is not difficult. Only thing is whether a person can do it. Renounce. Let go. It was so easy, the Buddha would not ask people to go forth and renounce. Yes or not? If you can practice at home and still do your business and all that, the Buddha would not ask people to renounce. It's for the purpose of that, and that's why people renounce.
The Thero Nikaya talk about systematic attention. Could you explain more about that?
Say again. Don't. Systematic attention. Where is this mentioned?
In the Thero Nikaya.
Can you tell me the more details about the sutta?
It's many suttas, so I can't remember which sutta.
Maybe this word, systematic attention, comes from the Pali word yoniso manasikara. This word yoniso manasikara, there are many translations for it. One is systematic attention, one is thorough attention, one is proper attention, one is thorough consideration, and all this. So what it means is when you contemplate something, that all your attention is there, so that you can see right through. Actually, the word yoniso manasikara comes from the word yoni. Yoni means the womb, the birthplace. Okay? And then manasikara comes from the word mana and kara. Mana is the mind. Kara is the work of the mind. Work of the mind is either you consider or you pay attention or you reflect. So the consideration or the attention that goes to the birthplace, the root of the problem. In other words, if you hear the Dhamma, then you consider it deeply. Thorough attention, you can say, thorough attention. Then you can understand. If you listen to the Dhamma, half-hearted attention, then you won't be able to absorb it. So that's why you need this yoniso manasikara, thorough attention. It is said in the Suttas that you can attain right view and become an Arya with two conditions. As in the Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta 43, it says that you achieve right view with two conditions. The first one is the voice of another. That means somebody else teaching you the Dhamma. And the second condition is yoniso manasikara, thorough attention, a proper attention. When you listen to the Dhamma, you pay proper attention, thorough attention, deep attention. Then you can understand, then you can achieve right view. And with that, you enter the stream, become an Arya. So this thorough attention is very important. Whatever you do, you must have thorough attention.
To enter stream entry, you just need to have perfect sila.
No. Perfect sila is just a precondition. If you have perfect sila and you can enter the stream, then you don't have to be a Buddhist. You don't have to listen to the Buddha's words. You just keep a sila, like other religions also have sila. But if you don't hear the Dhamma, you can never attain stream entry.
This is about talking, speech. on that when we are practicing meditation, some meditation centers they forbid people from talking to them. So when do we keep the silence and sometimes not practical when we are doing work too.
I mean, different centers or different Buddhist centers practice different things. But actually in the Sutta, or maybe the Vinaya books, the Buddha did mention that in the Buddhist religion, we don't just keep silent. Buddha said that this is an external sect practice. It is allowed to speak, but speak what is important, what is necessary. But even then, the Buddha's disciples sometimes did practice silence. There's one time, there's one sutta where 3 monks, they lived alone, lived together, these 3 of them, and they practice together. Every morning they go on alms round, and when they come back from alms round, they will have their food. They will cooperate by bringing the water for washing the feet, water for washing the alms bowl, and they bring the dustbin and all that. And after eating their food, they will clean up. They all do. But even like they want to carry water, they won't. They try not to talk at all to each other. The whole day they won't talk to each other. If they need somebody else's help, they will just signal, and then so that's how they pass the day. But at night, after they spend the day in meditation, at night when they come together, then they will discuss Dhamma. So it's not that they keep Dhamma the whole day. When it's necessary to speak, they will speak. So like in certain monasteries or centers, you see they maintain silence. That is maybe good for certain periods, but long term, you cannot. It's not practical to maintain silence long term.
Lastly, the Buddha said that we are the heir of karma and that there is no self. So who is being the heir of the karma if there is no self?
That self, that person who thinks that he is the self, that person. Because unless you are enlightened, you still have the self, right? So this person that is not liberated, he is the one, he thinks he gets the karma. In your dream, suppose somebody slaps you in your dream. In your dream, when you wake up, then you know that it was only a dream. But when you are dreaming, that time somebody slaps you, you feel the slap, isn't it? You can't say, because you have not woken up, you have not woken up from your dream. So when you get the slap, you feel it as real, right? So similarly, before you are enlightened, the unenlightened person, he's the one who receives all that karma. But only when he's enlightened, then he knows it's just like a dream. How may transfer merit?